I hope you're having a great day so far and a great start to your week. I wanted to do another enamel necklace. There's so many beautiful enamel pendants on artbeads.com. Here's a close-up of this one. I just love the texture and color on this one, and the teal and the brown. And I thought it would be fun to mix it with colors that are in the enamel charm. So I got some really great beads today. Hello, Michelle. In different tones of teal and turquoise and brown. Now, I really like this coin one. I picked it on purpose because it has brown edging on it, just like the pendant. And hello, Paulette. And I thought that would be a really great match. And I also am mixing in a few crystals today, as well as some Czech Glass. But when you combine all the colors together, they really complement the pendant colors. So I thought this would be a really fun project to put some of these beads together and to make a necklace. So the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to wire wrap, and I might not have time to do all of them with you today, but we can try, is I wanted to wire wrap some of the drops with some wire and turn them into drops to hang at the base of the pendant. Hello, Hazel, how are you? So I wanted to take these guys and cut them off the wire and wire up the top and turn them into drops. So for that, I will be using 26 gauge artistic brand wire. And Michelle, I left it off the thing this morning. I'm sorry, I forgot. So I just kind of put that idea in my head this morning. I was like, oh, I want to wire wrap these. Hello, Hannah from Iceland, or Hannah, I'm not quite sure. So anyways, we're going to make a necklace. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a great project. I try to pick something that would be great for the summer, the spring, different seasons, as well as a fun piece to wear. And if you have any questions too, feel free to reach out to the artbeads.com team. And I did double check. We do have 7 quantity of these, and then they're sold out. So if you like this guy, you want to catch him before he's sold out. And as always, close out your shopping cart before the end of the class today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I cut some wire. I just, for myself, I sometimes just kind of go around my neck and go about how long do I want it. You can determine how long you want your necklace and then cut your wire and leave a little, like 2 inches on the end. That way we can put our clasp on there. So hi, Terry. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate it. So I'm going to flip my camera around and get started. I got it. All right, cool. Yeah, I had to close my blinds too because it's like really bright outside, and I don't want to have too much light over me. So I'm going to lower this down. So here I've got all my beads assorted and out. So here's a close-up of the Czech Glass I'll be using and the different pieces I have pulled out. I'm also going to be using these fun Toho 3mm beads. And all of these colors, again, match really well with this pendant. And the pendant is like different beautiful shades along the edges here. And this is a beautiful like teal or like a turquoise color. So, oh, I'm so glad you posted a picture of the bracelet you made that you got your Easter beads. That's exciting. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Monty. I'm so glad you guys are here today. Okay, and I'm also going to throw in some of these really fun crystals to just bring out a little bit more of the darker brown that's in the pendant. And I wanted to use it this way and have these drops come off the base for like a long dangle like tail. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can also flip it like this and bead off the necklace this way. That's why I like 2 holes, because you can kind of do this or this. It's up to you however you feel creative. Hello, Denise. That's okay. We're glad that you're still here for 15 or 20 minutes. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with these. I'm going to wire wrap a few of these to get started. So we kind of have an idea of what we're going with. Now, I haven't actually wire wrapped these before, so it's a first. And I'm just using, again, 26 gauge artistic wire brand wire in the antique brass color. And how I'm going to do these little drops, and they are kind of small, is I'm going to use like my crisscross over the top here with my wire. And it's, no, you're not late. You're good. We just started, Denise. You're good. And I'm going to form a loop at the top like so, like this. And then I'm going to bring my wire around. And we're just going to do cute little wire ups. Now, I use this wire up design on a lot of variety of beads. So you can use the concept, the same idea of wire wrapping for teardrop beads or brioles. Okay. And I'm just going to do this a little bit more like so. All right, cool. And cut off excess wire. So you can do a handful of those guys. Good morning, Carolyn from rainy Oregon. I'm flying home next week. I'll be in California next week. Yay. It's funny. I brought the rain with me over here too. Okay, so I'm going to do a handful of these just so I can demonstrate how we have a tail, and then we will make a beautiful necklace. And I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday wherever you are. We finally have sunshine here in Alexandria. It's been kind of cloudy, wet, and rainy, a little bit like the P&W, but it's cold, but we have some beautiful sunshine. Okay. Here we go. And here we go. Oh, I love the pink drops. Oh, those are pretty. I think I have some of those. Yes, it can be a little time consuming wire wrapping them. So we don't have to hang out the whole time, but I just wanted to demonstrate like how to have a few, at least at the base of the pendant. Because if you wanted to do like 15 or 20, that could take a little bit. But I love the drops because there's so many things you can do with those beads. So you can like just string them on a strand. So you have these as like a bracelet like this, for example, or you can wire wrap them. I feel like they're great. I'm not sure what the word is, like universal bead, but like there's so many things you can do with drops. They're great for bracelets and earrings. So they're multi-purpose, I guess I could say. And they're not very expensive. You could get a ton of colors and then even mix them together on a bracelet and have a really nice multi-strand bracelet too. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to start with the pendant first. And, you know, it depends on your preference. Sometimes I start with a clasp on the end and then I build with beads and then I go on to the pendant in the center. But I'm so glad you found us, Robin. So I wanted to start the pendant first on this one because sometimes it helps me just build around it because I have no idea what pattern I'm going to be doing. We're doing this on the fly today. So I want to put the pendant in the center first. And then what I'm going to do is add the drops to the end and then go from there. So I'm going to do 2 on the base of the pendant. And this is a beautiful pendant. Like I said, it's very colorful and turquoise, you know, teal. You can use this color year round. It doesn't just have to be for one season. And the mixture of the colors on the edging with the beautiful brown and everything, it's just really pretty. I'm going to put this in between these. In the center. Oh, it fell off. Whoops. I'm going to close this a little bit more. Sometimes you have to make sure that jump ring is closed all the way or else your little dangles will come off. Oop. So I'm going to put this in the middle in between the two here so it's a little separated. And in my mind, I see myself wire wrapping like 10 of these. Like I wanted to have a really long tail, but we're going to go with just a little bit for right now. And it's a beautiful pendant. There you go. I just think it's really, really pretty. How can I keep the comments from being right on top of where you're working? I can move up this way higher. Sorry, I have a long table, so I have to kind of stretch out my arms a little bit in order to get further at the top. I hope that's better. Okay, so we have the pendant together, and next I'm just going to build around it. So you have a variety of beads you can choose from. They're all kind of similar in color with the pendant. I'm going to move these out of the way and focus on the top part of the necklace, like so. Okay, so we have this part, and I'm just going to mix in some of the Toho beads as a form of a spacer bead. And oh, I love that idea of mountains in the ocean. It definitely does. It has the colors of the ocean and mountains and everything. It's really pretty. So I'm going to use these as a way to get going around the pendant like so. And then I'm going to build around it with some of the glass. But this is a nice way, I think, to sub in for spacer beads if you don't have any, or if you don't maybe want as much metal, or you're trying to do like a little bit of a different look. I'm going to take some of these off. So I'm going to have 3 spacer beads on each side of the center of the pendant like this. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Is there a chat icon you can on there? Okay, you can touch it and hide comments. I didn't know you could do that. That's good to know. Okay, and I'm going to add a crystal because I really want to bring the brown color from the pendant out, and also it adds a nice little bit of like subtle bling because it has a nice little faucet here with some shine and some sparkle. I really like that. And I'm going to use these Toho beads as a spacer bead. So I'm just going to put it on to go in between my Czech Glass, and I'm going to break these open and start building. I wanted to use this part at the top of the neckline. That way it's kind of like the clasp goes in the center. Like this. Okay, so I'm going to take everything off here. Here we go. And I'm going to go with this really pretty gold one. So this is like a creamy gold color. I'm going to show this up really close. It's also partially translucent. So again, you have a little bit of the really pretty golds and the yellow, which also brings out colors here in the pendants. And I'm going to use these Toho beads as a spacer bead, and just go in between each one and just start building with the glass like so. So as I'm going, I want to mix up the different colors. That way it brings out different shades of the pendant. And these are a 2-hole bead, right? That's fine. You can mix them in anyways, and you'll have a nice little drop with them. I thought it's another way, a creative way of using a 2-hole bead. If you might have some extras, or you're not quite sure what to do with them, you can just use them, and you'll have a cute little drop, which just produces a small little dangle, which also matches the pendant idea, so they can go like this. So you have a cute little drop with the colors of the glass, and they all match the center pendant. So I just think it's a cute little idea. I'm trying to hold up like this. So everything color coordinates and balances each other out with the design as well as color scheme. So, and it's a great way to mix in 2-hole beads as well for something a little different. So I'm developing a pattern here as we're talking, which is fun, because I think it's a fun part about designing on the fly. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have the 3 seed beads. Then you're going to go to the crystal, a seed bead as a spacer, the creamy yellow rondelle, the seed bead spacer again. I'm going to use 2 of the 2-hole beads, these guys, and then separate it out again and have another crystal. So I think this will be the pattern. Oops, I left off my round guy on this one. I think this will be the pattern that I'm using to finish this. And then I will use these guys at the top of the neckline. So I'll do this. I think that'll be really cute. Yeah, I like that. Okay, we're gonna do this. All right, so we'll do the 2-hole beads. And again, when this is finished, I will take a picture and post it to the Art Beads Facebook group, which is called the Serious Art Beater. And I'll go ahead and type out the pattern as well. So if you guys want to copy this, it's available with photos and with directions. So again, I'm going to use the Toho beads as a spacer bead and then separate everything out with one in between. I'm going to go with the rondelle, the coin, and then the 2-hole beads, and then the crystal. I think that'll be good. 2-hole beads. Don't see the coin turquoise. Oh, thanks, Kat. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And then the crystal. So I did only put 10 crystal quantity because I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with them. But now as I'm putting this together, you might, if you want to do this project, you might want to order more crystals. That way you can have some more going up the neckline. I didn't order enough because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them. But now I'm working with them. They're like really pretty. So I would get some more personally to do this with. Okay. So again, I'm just using the Toho beads as a spacer bead because they're also the same color as the brown of the other beads I'm using, as well as the pendants. So they all kind of color coordinate. Okay, I got those. And this. Oh, thanks, Denise. I appreciate it. It is hard for me to design too sometimes without pre-planning. I like that deer in the headlights. It's cute. Sometimes I look at beads, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And other times I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna throw at the wall and see what sticks. Yes. Okay, so I have this and then 2-hole beads. And what's nice too, I feel like this is an affordable project. And it's going to be a beautiful necklace when you're finished. Okay, and a crystal. And then again, if you just repeat the pattern, it shouldn't take you too long to make this. I'm going to skip over to this side. Okay, we got our crystal and this one. Sorry, I'm saying out loud to myself what I'm using as my pattern so I don't get sidetracked. What do you do on the 2nd-hole beads? I'm just literally just picking a hole and just putting it on the wire. Oh, would I do dangles on it? Yeah, you could. I think that's a great idea. Honestly, that's a really great idea. You have the 2nd hole option, so you could add something to it if you wanted to. I think it's a great idea. Okay, so I have, I'm trying to keep my chart. Oh, this one. Okay. And then this guy. And then 2-hole beads, okay. And then the Toho bead and the crystal. I'm saying the pattern out loud to myself so I don't forget. I'm like, okay, spacer bead, rondelle, spacer bead. I think this is how we all bead at home, right? Coin, spacer bead, 2-hole bead, spacer bead, and I have one more crystal left on this side, so I'm going to use it, and then I'm going to see where I'm at here. Okay, so this is what I have so far to kind of show like up close to the camera. So we have our pendants, and then we have our pattern again, which is crystal, rondelle, coin, 2-hole beads, crystal, rondelle, coin, and you just repeat the pattern. And it's really pretty. I absolutely love this. The colors all really bring out the pendants. Yeah, you could wire up some more of these drops and then hang them from the 2-hole beads if you wanted to have more on there. That is a great idea. I love it. That is what's fun about designing on the fly with you guys, is we all can work together to come up with a beautiful piece of jewelry. That's one reason why I love doing that, is I like to get other people's viewpoints and then we can all talk about some great ideas, and that gives more ideas for everyone else to share and enjoy. So that is fun. All right, I'm going to add 2 more whole beads on this one, and then we're going to add the fire polish and kind of get an idea of what it looks like. All done. Here we go. Okay, so I have this part beaded, and I'm out of crystals, so I actually feel like this is a good place to stop anyways. We're almost like halfway up the neckline. And for the rest, I really wanted to add this teal fire polish so it brings in the base of the pendant. So, like so. And I'm going to add a Toho bead to go in between the fire polish and the blue crystal. I mean, the brown and blue crystal. That way we kind of have like a finishing point. And do this. And do this. And I'm going to kind of like do this. It's a little bit easier to do it this way. So I don't know if you guys do this, but to make it go faster, sometimes you can just put your wire on the fire polish strand, and then you don't have to like do one at a time. Since I don't have a needle, makes it go a little bit faster. There we go. Unless you drop them all, then it doesn't. Or here we go. Boom. Okay, cool. So I want to do this part up the neckline like this. And then when you find your desired length, you can go ahead and add your clasp. Okay. Thanks, Katie. I love the idea of vintage glam too. You guys have great verbiage. I love it. Vintage glam. Yes, it's coming together pretty fast, huh? That's great though, because you guys know if you want to make this project at home, it should go just as fast as you guys, and then you have a beautiful necklace to wear for the rest of the day, or if you need a gift to give somebody for a birthday, it won't take you too long to put it together, and then you have something nice to wear. Yay. And then again, you can add more drops to the base of the pendant if you want. This is a really pretty strand of drops. You can wire out more of them and then have a longer tassel look on your necklace. So it could be like a really nice long tassel necklace, or you could have a small tail depending on what you feel comfortable with. If I had, I should have probably just pre-wire wrapped the drops. That way I could have had more. And then I'm going to make sure these are the same length. Okay, I'm going to add a few more on my end. And these are really beautiful colors together. They really are. I love teal with creams and browns. So again, here's a close-up. You can add more drops to that. Again, you can make a really long tassel if you want it. This pendant is about 1.5 inches long, so it just depends on how long you wanted it. And then here's a close-up of the pattern. So again, I'm doing the crystal with the rondelle, the coin, the 2 whole beads, the crystal, and I'm just repeating it. Here, I'm trying to show up close so y'all can see it. And then I'll take a picture later today and post it again with the directions if you guys wanted to have those. I'll post them on the Art Beads Facebook group today. And I just hold these together to make sure they're the same length and I have the same amount of beads on each side for length. And to finish this off, I think I'm going to top it with some Toho beads. Again, just bringing back some of that brown color from the pendants. And it also ties in the base of the necklace together too. So this is probably a 22-inch necklace, I'm guessing. Just going looking at it really quick. And then I love the idea of a linen dress. That is a great idea, definitely. So I'm going to crimp the end, and I'm using a wire protector with the number 1 crimp. And I'm using the round crimp, and I just bring my wire around like so. So I'm using my wire guard like this, and I have my crimp bead, and I just gently bring the ends in together, and I use my crimping tool. And with crimping, you go in the back first, and then you kind of rotate it around and you use the front of the tool, crimp in the front. And you want to have that hamburger look, and that should hold it securely. And I cut off extra wire, and then I'm going to use a crimp cover, which unfortunately we're out of stock out of these in the moment. I did check, but typically I use a 3mm crimp cover, but I'm sure we'll have them in stock again soon. And then I'm just going to pull down the wire nice and tight and crimp this side and bring my wire down. And, ooh, wrong end. I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. And here we go. And again, we only have 7 of this pendant of the, can't talk today, of the enamel pendants in stock. So if you like it, you definitely want to order it before they're sold out. I don't know if we'll get any more in stock or when. And I would say it's definitely a good purchase because it's something that you can get multiple ideas with, as well as your round wear. So it'd be a great investment for your jewelry designs. All right. And okay, I'm going to put a crimp cover on this end, and then I'm going to add some 6mm jump rings and a lobster clasp. And I'm trying to stick with like the antique brass color scheme because I feel like it matches the pendant better. You'd be trying to find the hole in the first bead. That's funny, Denise. Oh, that's cute. You guys crack me up. I love the comments on our lives. You guys are a lot of fun. It's like we're all beaders having coffee together and hanging out and making jewelry. It's the best. I love it. Help. If you guys ever need help, really, you can just let me know. I'm more than happy to do another video with you guys, slower or one-on-one or whatever. It's just fine. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my clasp on there. So I added a few jump rings just in case you want extra length. So again, I ended it with the Toho beads here. You can just put a couple of them on there, and we have the fire polish. And then we go down to the crystal, the 2-hole beads, and again, the coin and the rondelle and the crystal. And like, this is your pattern basically right here. And then I just have the Toho beads separating. I'm trying to make it to where you guys can see it. Sorry. Oh, that's so great. You're having coffee. I love it. It is. It's like we're having coffee making jewelry. So like, here's the base again with the pendant, and we have our drops, and then we have the design coming up front with the Tohos and the crystals. So I'm trying to get this laid out where you guys can see it. It's just the lighting's kind of off here. I'm going to open my blinds really quick, see if that helps. Maybe. Oh, that's much better. Well, look at that. If I move my blinds around, y'all can see a little bit better. Much better. Sorry about that, you guys. All right, let's do this close up again. So we have this really beautiful pendant. And then again, I'm doing the crystals, and this is the bead pattern. So I will take a really good picture today when I can get the lighting adjusted and post it to the Facebook with directions. But here it is laid out. I can't really zoom in, unfortunately, with the software that we use. So like, this is as close as I can get it unless I lift it up with my hands because my phone won't zoom in. So I hope you guys like the necklace and that you think it's pretty. I do. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. And oh, today we start our up to 80% off spring cleaning clearance sale. Okay, so it looks like there's a clearance sale as well. You guys will want to check out at artbeads.com. And again, I'm going to like bring this up. So we have the fire polish, all these beautiful beads in our pendant. I think this came out so great. I love today's project. It's beautiful. I will take a photo. I'll post it on all the social media for Art Beads later today. So you guys have the photo as well as instructions. Thank you, Ruth. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say thank you. And also, I can do a separate demonstration on just how to wire wrap the drops. So if you guys want some more assistance with this, I'll do a slow promo with photos as well and a little video on the Facebook. I'm trying to cash out and it says I have over 200 items in my cart. Okay, art beads, Michelle, can one of you guys help Denise with that? Maybe you do have 200 items in your cart, which everybody would love that. That would be fun. I'm going to flip camera around really quick. I would love to have 200 items in my cart. Okay, so here's a close up. Here we go. We have the fire plush. I'm going to go really slow. We have all the different beads. Look how gorgeous and colorful that is. I love it. I'm going to put this on really quick. So this is what it looks like on. I hope you guys buy these things and make it. I would love to see what you guys make. If you do and you post online, tag me in it. If you're on Facebook or Instagram and you make one, feel free to tag me and be like, Andrea, look at what I made. I would love to see it. Again, here's a close-up of it. I think this is gorgeous. I really do, sincerely. I love it. Thanks, Denise. And it's, again, you could have a beautiful necklace in under an hour. Look at that. I love it. It's so pretty. It's great. So I'm going to wear it. You guys have got to make one of these. Again, there's only 7 pendants, and when they're gone, they're gone. So I would definitely grab one. And if you want, grab 2, turn them in earrings. Here's a close-up of it. I think it's so pretty. So yeah, I hope you guys make one. If you do, like I said, tag me in it. I'd love to see it. If you have any questions, message anybody at artbeads.com and wrap out your shopping cart with me right now before the end of the class. I'll hang out with you for a minute so you can do that. And if you have any questions, you can message me too anytime on social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. And you can also send an email to the artbeads.com team. So I just think it's beautiful, you guys. Really, I just love it. It's so pretty. Size jump rings I'm using are 6mm. Thanks, Paulette. I appreciate it. I really hope you guys make it. It's really pretty. Here's a close-up of everything. So this is what it looks like on. And it's not heavy, super lightweight. So if you don't really like to, wear heavy jewelry, you can't even tell you're wearing it. You'll forget. It's beautiful. I hope you guys had a great class with me today. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. And I hope to see some of these necklaces floating around on social media from you guys. And thanks for being here today. We really appreciate it. Waiting for everybody to check out with their cards. All right, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.